Hello, friends. We find ourselves here in front of the computer again. Um, Project 2. This is an opportunity for you to explore how people write in your career field, the actual technical kinds of writing, the kind of audiences that you might need to write to. Um, the specific formatting that might be required. So what I'm going to ask of you is to write about 1,000-word paper, research report. That's going to just a research paper. I'm sure most of you guys have done these before, probably all the way back to middle school. And I want you to tell me about the writing that's done in your career field. I have a couple of little activities that hopefully will help you as far as finding some sources that'll hopefully will get you kind of spur you along to get your research going earlier in the week than later. Got a couple little formatting activities. It shouldn't be too hard. It should only take a few minutes, but I want you to get some experience and practice doing that. And those should help you lead into getting this project 2 done. So when we talk about specific writing genres or the styles or the requirements of the writing that's going to go into it, if you haven't had experience yet with it, I know that we do have a lot of juniors and seniors, so hopefully you do have at least some experience about what the requirement is going to be for you to do communication on a day-to-day basis once you get into your career field. But if not, I just want you to understand that, regardless of the field that you're going into, you're going to have to do some kind of writing at some point for your job, even if it's emails or text messages or filling out forms or something. That's all writing, and so you have to be prepared and understand the type of language that's going to be required, and how to think about writing to be the most communicative and clear and expressive with the way that you're writing, so that your audience can understand what you're trying to say. There's no point in writing or communicating if the writing that you're going to do isn't clear and concise and makes sense to the reader. So that's what we want to do. So, when we think about the different kinds of writing specific formats that are going to happen, I know that in nursing we have these SOAP notes, and that's a very specific way that medical information goes into these notes that are done on a day-to-day basis, usually a couple times a day for nursing. There's a specific kind of information, language, wording, acronyms, abbreviations, and those kinds of things that go into this, and that's important for you to know, to make sure you understand that what that requirement is before you get into it, so that you can once you jump into it, you understand, there's a different language that's happening here, a technical language, a commonplace of language that happens. So when you get into it, that you're able to understand that you're going to have to learn to speak that language, and then also so that you can begin to once you learn that language, that you can start to write in that or communicate in that language as well. Other majors, other career fields. Biology, all the hard sciences, chemistry, and all those things. We're going to have lab reports that are going to go into the work that you're going to do, or field reporting that's going to happen if you're doing, field work in the hard sciences. In construction management, I know we do have some construction management folks here. You have your construction plans and proposals, and within those, that the writing has to be clear, because you may not always, particularly in the 21st century, everything's digital and online, you may not have the ability to ever even meet the people that you're talking to. So you have to be clear and concise, so that your construction gets done in a way that makes sense, and you're not going to lose time on the job, right? In education, it's pretty clear, lesson plans, but there's a specific language that goes into building lesson plans as well, shorthands and those kinds of things. I do have a couple of examples here of some resources that you might be able to use, or just some examples of the types of resources that are out there to kind of help you to understand what the writing requirements are in your career field. So there's an example here of a biology, how to write in biology. Here's an example of an academic journal about nursing, about the specific types of writing in nursing. I have there's a book here that's available. I think most of this is, I did this research through Joiner Library, but through Joiner Library, there's a book on IEEE, which is the International Engineer or something or other. I haven't used the format very often, but if you're in engineering, you'll know that this is one of the formats that you're probably going to be asked to use. So this IEEE format manual in there will help you to learn how to write in that format. And then, here's, Scholastic. We all know the Scholastic book clubs and all those kinds of things, but they also, have, manuals out there or resources available for teachers to be able to understand how to put together lesson plans. So these are all options that, if you're going to be doing for this paper, or once you get into your career field and you're like, I don't know what to do, you can go and find these resources. They'll be available to you so that you can learn how to write in these fields. So, if you're in any of these career fields that, if your major or career field is biology, nursing, engineering, these might be resources that I've pulled out that might be helpful to you for this project. There are tons of other online sources. When you get into the websites and stuff, make sure that you are, make sure that the authors of them are going to be responsible and reputable people within your career field. It's not just somebody, the top 5, listicle kind of, websites that, just are clickbaity kind of things. Make sure it's a good and reliable online source. You might also want to look for, I know I keep harping on podcasts, but they're kind of mushrooming right now. So look for experts in your field who may be discussing the communication within your career field. You can listen to those and get some information there. Also, YouTube has tons of resources, video resources, and so be willing to look in that arena as well, or that venue. Those videos, sometimes it takes a little time to listen through it, but put it on double speed and you'll get right through it. All right, so those are all some resources that you can use for this paper. Now, if we were going to do this class in the full 15-16 week format, I would definitely require you to do an interview of someone within your career field. Because this is so short, I can't, it will be hard to require everyone to do that. I'm not going to. However, if you have the opportunity to interview somebody, that would be one of the sources that you would want to find to help to use for this paper. And even if it's just a quick email interview that you can do over email, if you know somebody within your family that's in the career field, or if you have maybe a mentor within here at ECU, or maybe you have a job and you're working with somebody, just you can ask them, just send some questions, talk to them over the phone, or or video, or if you're in person, I guess now we can start to do a little bit more of that. Just say, hey, what does it take to write in your career field? What are the kinds of writing that you're going to do? When we go to do interviews, you need to plan out, think of some questions in advance of some of the information that you might think. Think about the audience, the genres. What are the specific language and technical language that's going to be required? So you might want to ask that question if you do an interview. But again, because this class is so short, I'm not going to require it of you. So I'm not going to get too far in depth on how to do an interview. But this is something that you would be really beneficial for you if you can pull it off. I know maybe you haven't done research reports in a while, or maybe you don't have a lot of experience with them. So I put a couple of examples of a research report up on Canvas. So I would just say, hey, pull that up, cop that format, and say, use that as a way to format your paper. It doesn't need to be necessarily a APA, MLA, Chicago, IEEE formatted paper. This is just something, use that example format as kind of a template for how you would approach this paper or this assignment or essay. It's not really a paper so much as a report back to me. So, not too difficult. All right. So again, it's about 1,000 words ish. And if you're going to be incorporating information from, I think I'm asking you to do 3 sources. It'll take 1,000 words, I would think, to really address it properly, the ideas properly. This will be due May 29th, which is a Saturday night, so you can have that Sunday off if you're going to be procrastinating, but hopefully you won't. And again, I'll make as much time as you need. If you need help with planning this out, or trying to find resources, if you're having a hard time finding resources, I know there are some niche career fields and majors that might be a little bit more difficult to find information, and I'd be glad to help you. We can be a little bit more broad and think a little bit more broadly about where to find those resources. But anyway, this shouldn't be too hard of an assignment to do. Just take your time, do some research, and then just kind of follow the format of those examples that I've given you. All right, y'all take care.